Excited to be back. What an incredible week it's been. What an incredible time it is right now. I didn't do either of my lives last week because my computer died. And being that I'm in Thailand and I don't speak a lot of Thai, it's been a very interesting week navigating from our retreat center here out in the country into town, seeking out another MacBook, negotiating it, and then finding out that Apple had removed a lot of the inputs and just done their whole corporate greed thing. And it's really been very, very interesting. So I have a new computer. It's up and running. And I'm really excited to share some of the things that I'm going to dive into here today. So for anybody that has been following my stuff, or not my stuff, but that is really, their goal is to raise their conscious awareness and to step out of this 3D matrix, shift this whole thing. I'm going to share some of the most powerful tools that I know of that I've put together over the last 20 years since I met my main mentor, Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of the 4 Agreements and the Master of Love, Beyond Fear, the Voice of Knowledge. Some of you may be familiar with them. So one of the things that, before I dive in, I posted this earlier today. And it's really powerful because it's a reminder. All these are reminders. We're waking up. The new earth is here. You're all advanced beings. If you only knew who you truly were, the human body would never limit you. The human mind would not limit you. You are here on earth because you are advanced. We are here with you to assist you in the process of remembering who you truly are. You are a limitless being, which cannot be defined. You cannot be confined, and your powers are limitless. Okay, so I talk about this frequently because we truly are unlimited beings. First of all, can everybody hear me? Could somebody just pop into the comments? Yeah, I can hear you, because I usually use a microphone, but Apple took away the mic input, so now I'm waiting for another $400 box that I had to purchase to get the recording part of the studio up. So if you can hear me, please post in a yes so I can see that. That would be great. So far, I haven't seen anybody post that in, so I'm not sure if you're hearing me. Okay, so I'm just going to continue, as I would assume somebody would say, we can't hear you if you can't hear me. So when we use this term limitless, it goes into the mind, and the mind goes, yeah, we're unlimited, but I don't know that many people that are consciously creating their reality every single day and every single morning from an unlimited mindset. See, most people, okay, thanks, Paul, appreciate it. You can hear me. Okay, most people take on a belief system that comes from outside themselves, okay? In this belief system, actually, it's something that the ego defends over and over and over because it wants to be in control and it wants to feel safe. And anything that threatens that belief system threatens the ego, until you can see this program and dismantle it and really realize that the ego is a prison. Absolutely is a prison. Now you could say, well, not every belief is a prison. I agree. I believe that we are unlimited beings. I believe that love is the answer in every situation. I don't have a lot of other beliefs that I hung on to because I realized that all my beliefs came from outside myself, and most of them came from the systems of control, which are the school system. I grew up in Catholic private schools. That was all judgment all the time. Give your power away to something outside yourself. Shame, guilt. The school system, where they teach you what to think instead of actually how to think, how to thrive, how to be your own unique individual that nobody else can compare to. And what happens is we take on all these beliefs of comparing and judging and less than and shame and guilt, and it can pull us down. And I'll tell you, even if you are awake, for lack of a better word, there's 50 to 80,000 thoughts that are running every single day for the average person. And the facts are that 80% of these subconscious thoughts are negative. And I even notice this still, using the tools in the book and the course every day, taking people through this journey every month, going back and forth in Messenger and on weekly calls, going deep into wounds and dismantling the belief system and consciously creating our reality every morning. Because if we do not do this, what's going to happen is most people are going to wake up and the thoughts are going to start running right away. So what ends up happening is, for the most part, they're carrying in, like Santa Claus, 3D into what is actually, a 0 point field. And when I say 0 point, I mean when you awaken out of what we call the sleeping dream in the morning, because we're dreaming all the time, right? Miguel got me to understand that one. And when he first told me, my ego's going, well, wait a minute, I'm not sure about that, and I can't control that. And yeah, it throws you for a loop. But being open and excited and curious and always asking, what else is there to learn that I may not know? I ask myself that every single morning. Show me something on my soul's journey where I can contribute to this shift in a greater fashion. Not from ego, but just from excitement and knowing that I know nothing. I mean, first of all, figuring out that your belief system isn't even yours. If you're open to doing that and beginning to go through the process of dismantling it, which I share in the book, in the digital course, hey, Asta, great to see you. And on all the videos on the YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening, you can go back and watch them for free. I go over and over and over the tools, and we've got to put them in practice every day. Otherwise, the old programs, they're just going to default. It's not because they're evil, it's just because they're ingrained, like on a track. They're a record playing over and over and over. And we've got to be able to see, hey Davia, great to see you. We've got to be able to see a program, a limiting program or a belief in order to dismantle it. Otherwise, the ego just goes, that's my belief, so that's what I believe, and that's the way it's going to be. And if anything challenges a belief, the ego gets triggered, it gets defensive, it goes into what I call automatic reaction mode, judgment. And what happens is, when that happens, you will automatically have to relive that over and over and over and over. It'll show up in relationships. The more you judge, the more you're going to find things to judge. I talk about this all the time. I was a judgeaholic. I was taught to be a judgeaholic in Catholic school. It was Judgment Day every day. And I thought that that's how we fix things in the external world, by judging them and going, that's wrong, pointing out everything that's wrong. So I did that with a good heart. It wasn't that I would just point out, I'm like, okay, well, can I do something about it? Can I take action instead of just, but what ended up happening was, since we are magnetic beings in every moment, which is a huge key to become aware of throughout the day. And this is why the course, and I talk about us being magnetic beings and tracking the frequency of your thoughts, your words, and your emotions. How do I feel right now? Do I feel excited, or do I feel a little bit off, like the shift is hitting the fan and, my family's asleep and they keep pushing the masks and the poison and all this stuff? Okay? So that's coming up for a lot of people, because we've got to go through this awakening to see how much of this stuff has been inverted. Because if we can't see it, we can't dismantle it, and people will just keep defending their old belief system to feel safe in judging and separation. The way the whole media, the systems are set up, the systems of media and, what they call teaching, it's a trap. So the great news is, here we are to rock this dream. Heather's feeling powerful. I love it. Me too. Okay? And I had a couple of really triggery days in the past few days. It's been pouring rain here in Thailand where I'm at. I love it. It's a rainy season, and it's so lush and tropical here. The flowers and the orchids and the buds and it's heaven here. But it's been pouring rain, and I have a scooter. I don't have a car. I don't need one, and I don't want one. But I have to ride into town to Chiang Mai, the digital nomad capital, to go in, locate a computer, and do this stuff while it's pouring rain. And it was a little bit challenging. It can be a little bit scary flying down the freeway, in the rain, going 80 kilometers an hour, wearing shorts and flip-flops, and, cars are flying by you. So anyway, the point is, I got triggered, my computer's down, my recording studio's down, all the stuff that I use. I had everything backed up on a hard drive, luckily. It's a great thing to do. This costs $50 to buy another drive, and you can clone your drive and back it up. Well, I did that, but the new computer that I got won't take the old hard drive. Thank you, Apple, once again. Okay, so anyway, the point is I got triggered. So how do we get back? Are we tracking our frequency in each moment? So when I get triggered, I haven't had an outburst. I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, okay, you're triggered. So what do I do when I'm triggered? I take a breath, I smile to relax my body, and I stop the program from running. If we do not catch the judgments and the triggers, they're going to run again and again and again. Because every time we have a trigger and we don't dismantle it, it becomes empowered. And you'll see people that are out there that they feel very justified in judging or reacting to their ex-boyfriends and narcissist or whatever, okay? So we've got to be willing to understand that when we are triggered or we go into judgment or shame or guilt or whatever, that's the time to stop, take a breath, and go, okay, that was uncomfortable. What is this trying to teach me? This is what all the kids will be taught in school starting very soon. Converting a book to a book for children, because if we're taught in school what an emotion is, what a trigger is, and that our belief system is everything, so choose wisely, nobody's going to need to go to school for 12 or 16 years. It's not necessary. They're going to dive into what they love, and they're going to be nurtured to do what they came here to do. And all this is shifting right now, and it's such an exciting time. So I want to mention, this is a Q&A, my weekly lives. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. And usually, because a lot of people watch these even after the recording is done. And a lot of times somebody has a question, but they don't want to ask because, they don't want to be spotlighted. This is a safe environment. And I used to go to the dreaming weekends with Miguel and a small group of people. And you would have to get up on a couch and speak about your fears and stuff. And I was scared to do it. It wasn't comfortable. And there were a lot of times when I didn't ask, and I went home after the 2.5-day weekend, and I was upset with myself because I didn't ask. And every time I did ask, and I just went, oh, this is what I'm feeling. Can you give me some feedback? They mirrored me right through it in like a minute. And I left the weekend feeling so great. So if there's anything that's coming up for you, and you'd like to ask a question, not around the dark controllers and all that stuff, we bless them, we forgive them, we shine light on them. They're already dissolving because their inverted programs can no longer sustain themselves in the new earth energies. It's already done. So the key is to forgive them. And that was one of the tough ones for me, to forgive like Hillary and the Clintons and the Bushes and all these dark deceivers and the rock. No, you got to. Because otherwise, guess who's holding the negative frequency of non-forgiveness? We are. And if you're holding that frequency, you're stuck in the 3D matrix. Why? Because those frequencies don't exist in 5D and beyond. There is no guilt, judgment, shame, anger, hatred. They don't exist. So this whole game now is about cleaning up our frequency. So how do we do that? We have to observe our frequency, and we have to catch ourselves when we have a trigger or a less than thought or a fear or a doubt. And then we stop and we take a breath. And if the story is running really strong, like, man, I just got triggered, I'm pissed off, my computer blew up and I'm in the pouring rain and, whatever it is, or somebody just did something wrong, it's like, okay, what is this trying to teach me? That's the billion-dollar question. This is mastery, self-mastery. If you want to write that down, I invite you to. This took me a long time to put this together, and it's so simple. It's so simple. Stop. Catch the trigger. And thank the person that triggered you. Because what happens is we usually, the unaware mind that's running on emotional triggers, reactive state, will just state that something out there is doing something to us. It's not true. It's a hologram. It's reversed. It's a mirror. Now, if somebody's physically abusing you or something, yeah, that's real. Get out of the situation immediately. But when we have a judgment about something out there, and yeah, okay, I expose pedophilia and adrenochrome and, all the systems of deception, the medical system, the system of false law. Yeah, I do. But I also know that it's coming up to be cleared after being in operation for thousands of years. So the deal is, all right, I'm an observer. That's my space towards mastery, to commit to being an observer. And anytime I have a judgment or a trigger, I stop. And I take a breath and I smile. Why do I do that? Because when I take a breath, it stops that story and that trigger from running. I drop into my heart. When I smile, it changes my frequency. I drop down into my heart. And I'm no longer stressing all those cells in my body. It's super key. So you relax and you go, oh, fuck, I just got triggered again. And if you make it fun, then you don't have to have the ego judging you on top of you catching a judgment. Because in the beginning, when I take people through the 30-day process and they start tracking and keeping score of all their judgments and less than thoughts, this is the key. It's such an incredible process. If anybody's interested in that, send me a private message. I journey with 4 people every month for 30 days. And we go through all the trainings, the PowerPoint trainings, the book, and then we're in contact almost every day. And it's deep, and it's wonderful, and it's life-changing. We do this. So I'm just reading the comments here. I have been narcissistic. No, it's okay. Okay. So Heather says I have been narcissistic and probably still am at times. Okay, cool. I love your vulnerability. She's so nice. She says, I love your vulnerability. Yeah. Our vulnerability and our authenticity are 2 of our greatest strengths. Because when we're willing to just go, I've been running this program, then you're just like, you got nothing to hide, nothing to defend. You're just like, okay, now I'm looking at it. Okay, cool. So if you have been narcissistic or are, there's still a memory that can be attached to emotions. It doesn't mean you're still narcissistic. It just means you might have a memory of it. But yeah, if it happens, use these tools. You can feel the frequency. And when you begin to commit to catching every judgment and every trigger, every single thing in your life is going to shift for the better. Why? Because we are magnetic beings. There's people that go, I keep attracting all these, the wrong guys into my life and relationships, or, nobody respects me, or what. That's a belief. It's an underlying belief. Whatever you keep attracting, there is a belief underneath it. That's how the hologram works. And when you figure this out and you're willing to be accountable, then you just go, okay, I got a wound. What is it? Well, my mom always told me, or my dad always told me I was a loser, or whatever. Okay, well, then let's shift that. Every time that comes up, ask if that's true. What is this trying to teach me? Do you do daily mirror exercises? I love you. I love you. And then Larry, my ego, might go, yeah, but you messed up and screwed up and you got triggered the other day. I love you. I love you. Yeah, stuff's going to happen. We're stepping out of a 3D matrix. There are so many programs that are designed to keep us stuck. And these are the tools to get out. They're simple. All they require is a commitment and daily practice. And you just keep practicing. It's so simple. So I'm going to talk about a couple of these things, okay? One of the things I wanted to talk about, which is really key, my intention is this opens up your awareness as to what's possible. This is the topic of reversing your aging, okay? If you've seen any of my lives before, you know I talk about creating your reality every single morning while your head's still on the pillow, as soon as you awaken from the sleeping dream, and you're kind of in that 0 point state. Sometimes I'll wake up, and if I've had dreams, the programs will be running. So how do I stop them? I take some slow, deep breaths, and I smile. And I take 3 or 4 deep breaths. I love on my cells that have been, by the way, unconditionally loving me in every moment since I've been in the womb. That is true unconditional love. If that doesn't blow your mind and almost bring you to tears, I don't know what will, because I don't know that many people that really stop to consider and love on their body every single morning and every single day. It's the most healthy thing you can ever do. It's healthier than buying all the supplements, jogging, all that stuff's great. It's all part of balance, grounding into Mother Earth. But if your self-talk is not loving, you can do all that other stuff and still have a heart attack. There's still stress. Or still age rapidly. Self-love is key, and it's not ego. If you think you're all so great and you're in your ego, yeah, then that's ego. But if you love yourself and you're like, oh, I love you so much. You've been through so much. You came down here on the toughest planet that we know of, going through thick and thin, and you hung in here. You didn't check out as many times as you wanted to, right? I don't know if I'm the only one, but I was ready to leave several times. And so let's talk about age reversal, talking to your cells. Do you do it? And if you don't do it, I'm going to invite you to do it right now. And love on yourself. And I'm especially talking to the men, because men seem to have resistance to self-love. When I go like this, people think it's funny. Like, people tell me, I think it's so funny when you do that. I love it. I do it every day. When I wake up every morning, I am loving on my body, on every cell. I want them to feel it. I'm scanning my body from my head to my toe. Right now, I got a couple of minor injuries. I got a sprained knee and an ankle because I was taking Woogie out, the wild jungle dog, on my scooter, and it was rainy, and we were on an incline, and we slid off, and I didn't want the bike to land on him, so it landed on my knee and my ankle, and it hurts. But I'm okay. So the point is, do you talk to your cells every day and throughout the day? And when you go into the bathroom, and when you get out of the shower, and you're looking in the mirror to see if you look good and your hair's straight, and all the decision making that we do. For Jeff, it's, well, I don't really like your glasses. Your hair's getting gray. It's thinning out a little bit. Is that a wrinkle? The automatic program is to find everything that's wrong for most people in 3D instead of going, oh my God, you're so handsome. I love you. Oh, I love it when you smile. Wow, look at that. You have a white circle around your eyeball. Not everybody has that. That's trippy. Okay? So finding things to love on yourself about. Super key. How many people do this every day, right now, on this call? Most people I know don't do it. Why? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that we're not really taught? Hey, Elaine, great to see you. to love on ourselves. You know? So key. And it's not ego to love on your divine vessel that's been serving you in every single moment. All right, Elaine's on board. I love it. Yeah, me too. I didn't used to, though. I had to figure this out on my own because I used to shame Jeff. I used to be really hard on myself. You know, I had a couple stepfathers that were pretty intense. I took some beatings. I had an uncle that had 8 kids. 7 of them were girls. My cousin, the one boy, oh my God, what an upbringing he had. And then when my dad died, when I was in the 1st grade, my uncle took over kind of. He was brutal. He didn't go, oh, Jeff, you're so great. I love you. You're going to really grow up to be, you know, something cool. He was like, everything was talking down to me. It was tough. But check it out. That was part of my soul contract. That was part of my teaching. So I could do this, create this program. They're all gifts. Everything is a gift. You've got to see it that way. Because if you don't, you're going to carry the wound and you're going to magnetize more of that which you are either upset about, shamed about, judging, guilty, angry, hateful, or whatever it is. So this is why it's so, so key to do the inner healing. And it's so easy. It's not hard. I take people through this process every month. It's simple. It happens in 1 or 2 days. It's not a long, drawn-out thing, even for decades of wounds. It's really simple. They named it the dark night of the soul, so you wouldn't go there, and it would be the last place you'd go. You'd try and seek all the healing outside yourself. No, it's an inside job, and it's really easy. And it tells you how to do it. It tells you how to do it. All my videos on YouTube, they touch on it. So if anybody has any question, please ask. So let me get back to a couple of my notes. Age reversal. Do you believe it's possible? Because if you don't believe it's possible, there's no point in entertaining it. Or is there? Remember, your beliefs, if they're limiting, they're a lie. If you have a belief that's limiting in any way, it's a lie. Okay? Let me take this down. All right? Let's scoot back a little bit. Yeah. Okay? So if we're not examining our belief system, and my mentor, Miguel, had me write down all my beliefs. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't like writing stuff down. He's like, do it. I'm like, okay. So I start writing down all my beliefs. I didn't have to write very much until the light bulb went off, and I went, these aren't even mine. None of these beliefs are mine. They all came from outside myself. Why do I keep touching on this? Because it's one of the most important aha moments anyone will ever have, because your belief system, for the most part, keeps you stuck and trapped in the 3D matrix. And it's all set up that way. Republican versus Democrat, white lives matter. Everything's set up to be reactive and judgmental. Reactive, judgmental, less than, not enough money, not enough abundance. You need this, you need this, you need this. It's such a program, and you've got to be able to see it. You go, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Now you realize that the belief system was a prison. So if you ever catch your ego defending your beliefs, you can feel that. It feels sticky. It feels contracted. It feels fear-based. It's reactive. I need to react. I need to react to that comment on Facebook. I need to react to what this person said. I need to react. Triggers. Triggers are your first sign that your frequency just got pulled down, and you're going to recycle that lesson unless you stop and take a breath and ask the $1 billion question. I just had an emotional trigger or reaction, big or small. What is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me about me? It's never about the other person, but your ego will try and convict him like in the court of law. No, they keep doing that. They've always done it. They are your teacher on your soul contract. Get it. Understand it. This will shift everything in your life and relationships. Everything. It'll shift your frequency. You'll start to attract more like-minded people, more abundance, more money, more health, more everything. It works. That's all there is to it. And that's why you're not taught this in the school system, in the health system. They are systems to keep you stuck. So in the beginning, you'll get pissed and you go, oh, this is some evil shit. Elaine just posted her comment at 9:33. 9:33 on Tuesday morning in Thailand. I'm in the future a little bit. All right, so do you believe that you can reverse your aging? Or better yet, are you open to the possibility that you can reverse your aging? That's a great place to start. Are you open to the possibility? Now, if you're open to the possibility, then you're like, okay, well, what does that look like? Well, that would look like speaking to your cells and creating consciously and intentionally creating your reality every single day. So when I'm lying in bed in the morning and I realize I just woke up out of a sleeping dream, the first thing I do is talk to my cells. I love on my body. I breathe in all that healthy prana and I envision all that going through my bloodstream, my heart, every one of my organs. I go through and I try and name my organs: lungs, heart, stomach, intestines, gallbladder. I don't even know what the gallbladder is. I just do my best to give every piece of my body love, my muscles, my throat, my eyes that serve me, my ears that have listened to so much loud music. It's incredible. And my hearing is still amazing. I can hear like a freaking dog. And I've been rocking loud music in concerts and guitar amps my whole life. So the point is, are you open? And if you are, then I invite you to write down and take some notes. I'm going to talk to my cells every day. I'm going to bless my food and my drink. And when that water's coming out of the shower on me, I'm going to be smiling and blessing it and imagining it. I mean, we take it for granted. We turn on the thing and water's coming out. Well, let me tell you, I live in Thailand where some people don't have it. Okay? Some people live in wooden shacks. And it really gets me to see how blessed we are. You know, some of these people have been living in these houses for centuries. They're up on stilts. They're made out of wood. There's no insulation. There's no air conditioning. There's bugs coming in, mosquitoes, everything. There's all kinds of critters here in Thailand. But the point is, when that water is coming out all over you, you're washing your face, you're brushing your teeth, are you taking in what a gift that is? And seeing that water cleansing and healing, that water is magic. Without it, we wouldn't exist. Our bodies are 86, I don't know science, but yeah. So the key is reversing aging. I invite you to get very playful with that. Because if I told this to a little child that was 4 years young, they'd automatically go, yeah. Well, maybe they wouldn't think about it because they're already young. But the key is here on our journey to get back to having the imagination and the excitement of a little child. That's 5D and beyond. Everything else is a program. If you're not being playful and creative in every moment, and we're going to go in and out because we're, we have things to do and things we want to create. And so we're not always fully consciously aware. But I invite you to check in with yourself as many times as possible. And that's why I have people that go through the course and read the book set alarms on their phone. If you can set 20 alarms on your phone, one to go off every hour, even if you don't catch them all, and you can put it on vibrate mode if you're at a job or something like that where you don't want it to ring. But when you look back at your phone and it goes, oh, there was my alarm, then you stop and you go through the process that you do in the morning. Okay, I'm going to take 1 minute or 30 seconds right now to breathe into every one of my cells, see my body reversing its aging, and then I'm going to see anything that I desire is already here now, never in the future. It's here now because the subconscious only knows how to take direct orders. Using spell words like trying, want, hope, wish, those are weak-ass spells. Those were put into spelling in the English language for a reason, to keep you from manifesting. Don't use the word try, want, hope, wish. They're weak. I intend, I am, it's here now. When you begin to see the relationship, the money, the abundance, the health, the travel, anything you desire, it's here now, and you're smiling, and you know how this works, stuff's going to synchronistically start showing up in your dream like frickin' that. And the more you get playful with it and do it every day, and you come back and start catching these alarms every day, even if you were to catch 5 alarms a day, that's 150 times a month. Even 3 a day, that's 90 times a month. Or 120 because you did it when you were still laying on the pillow before you got up to go to the bathroom or anything. You create your reality before those thoughts start running. This is the key. Everything else is a distraction. That's why the media in this whole frickin' scamdemic is all to keep people in fear, in fighting, and at odds with each other, and judging, and, you know, you need to wear a diaper because my diaper won't work unless you wear your diaper. And it's insane. You've got to be able to see it and then be compassionate for those people that are caught up in it because they don't see the program yet. Okay? So we're here to lead. We're here to be compassionate, non-judgmental. And anybody that we judge, we immediately feel the frequency of the judgment because we've trained ourselves. We're practicing and we're training ourselves to catch every judgment. Why? Again, because if you don't, you're going to relive it over and over and over and over. This is why you look around on the planet and you can see judgment is the biggest addiction on the planet. It's not drugs and alcohol. Judgment is by far the biggest addiction on the planet. They set it up that way. And you got to be able to see it, or you're not going to be able to clear it. So I intend you get that download. Okay? So speak to yourselves every day. Set alarms on your phone. You could go, yeah, that's a good idea. But how many people are grabbing their phone right now and going, well, how do I do that? Oh, okay, here's one alarm. Now I click Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so they come on again after you turn them off. The first time I set my alarms on my phone, I caught them and I turned them off and I did the process. And then the next day they didn't come back on again because I didn't choose all 7 days. This is priceless stuff here, okay? This is what people pay good money to learn. And it took me 20 years and over $100,000 to put together these simple tools. And if you use them, they will change your life. I know this is a free transmission, so it's like, okay, we're all taking information and we're scrolling through Facebook. There's no lack and shortage of information. I'm telling you, the reason I do this is, number one, I'm talking to Jeff and I'm reminding him so he never forgets. And I love taking people through this process because it's the most life-changing process that I know. And then it instills these tools into Jeff on a deeper and deeper level, and we all grow and we all learn, and it just works. And the more of us that hold our frequency, which is what we came here to do, it's shifting the whole frequency of the planet as we speak. And with these new light codes and energy coming in, we're doing it. We don't really need to do any more. We don't need to become better. We don't need to accomplish more. Just the fact that you are here in a body, You are holding a frequency that is anchoring in these new light codes, and I want you to know that, and I want you to understand that. Because as Jeff, his program is, well, I always want to do more. I want to reach more people. I want to, do another album. I want to go out and play and tour and do shows. More and more and more and more and more. That's kind of a program. There's nothing wrong with creating more and imagining more because we're creative beings. But grab a big piece of mind right now and go, oh, I don't even have to do anything other than hold my frequency. And that's playing a huge role in anchoring in the New Earth timelines. This is a really big realization, really big. And I just got this one on another level earlier this week, speaking to some people in some really good conscious conversations. So speak to yourselves, set your alarms. Every time they go off, whenever you can, stop, do the process, take in some breaths, say, where am I right now? Where's my frequency? Where's my frequency? What am I magnetizing more of in this moment? Am I in fear? Am I in doubt? Am I in worry? Do I hate my job? Do I want to go do something else? If you do, please do it. Find a way to do it. Get some support. Reach out. Go on the journey with me. It'll freaking change everything for you. Or reach out and talk to somebody and go, okay, I'm coming up against an edge. I really want to get out of what I'm doing. 12 people on the call, 12 comments. Numbers are lining up. 41, 44 on the counter. I love it. 9:44 a.m. I'm not planning this. I just looked up. This is what happens when you get excited and you start ramping up your frequency and you start playing with the field because you're a magnet. Okay? So, next thing. Conscious breathing. We tend to be shallow breathers. I know I have been, and I can be, I can go through the day and go, dude, are you even breathing? And I'm like, okay. Oh, there it is. When you do that, it cleanses your body, it cleanses your blood, it cleanses your organs, it raises your vibration, and it calms your mind. You take a few deep breaths and drop a smile on, it relaxes your body, it raises your vibration. And then you ask the question, now that I'm present, what is my magnet tuned to right now? What am I attracting? Because you're either consciously attracting or you're just unconsciously attracting. And that may not mean that you're attracting bad things. It's just a great question to ask yourself, what is my magnetic frequency tuned to right now? And how many times can you check in during the day to become aware of that? And becoming aware of the frequency and vibration of your thoughts and your words, and then the emotional frequency that you put behind them, which amplifies your magnet. So if I say, I have attracted the most incredible people into my life every day, magic, miracles, and it's not even magic and miracles, it's just synchronicities. It's the law of frequency and vibration that I'm pulling in every moment with my awareness and with my attention, with my imagination, and with my frequency. And if I get triggered or pissed off or whatever, I feel it, I stop, I come right back and I go, oh, there's a trigger. So I take a breath and I go, okay, so here's a trigger. No big deal. This is an opportunity for me to claim more freedom. Because if I don't, and I don't dismantle it, it's going to come back again. That's how it works. It's built into your soul's journey. So you can either do it in this lifetime, you can do it quickly, you can do it this month in 30 days, or you can take another 30 years, or you can take another 30 lifetimes. This is why we have the ability to dismantle these programs right now. And if you're listening to this and it resonates, then, it's for you as well as it's for me. Because again, I'm just talking to Jeff, just talking to me. So does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Oh, thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that. This stuff works. I mean, it's completely life-changing. If anybody's interested in, the digital course or the book or anything, go to the website. Portal to Awakening. If you're interested in doing the 30 days, working with me one-on-one, go to the website, look at what's listed, what we go through, the trainings. There's 4 hours of PowerPoint trainings that go along with the book. There's a PowerPoint, 2-page PowerPoint sheet that only takes less than 3 to 5 minutes to fill out every single night. It'll change the way you see everything. You'll dismantle programs so quick. It's wonderful. It really is. And that's why I love doing this. So, okay, Davia. Yeah, Davia went through the course. She's rocking it. She's an amazing person to connect with. Where's your profile picture? You're just purple? That's my favorite color. I don't know, for some reason, I'm not seeing anybody's profile picture. I wonder what's going on with Facebook. Something's happening. Interesting. Okay, so does anybody have any questions around any of this? Consciously creating your reality first thing every morning. Setting alarms on your phone. Anytime you have a judgment, a less than thought, or a trigger, what is this trying to teach me? You know? Super, super cute. If anybody's interested in the book, there's a half-price link for people viewing this. You can instantly download it. If you're one of those people that doesn't really like to read things on the computer, what my students do is they take it to a printer, they get it printed out for a couple dollars, and they put it in a nice little Mylar plastic sleeve. So it's 8.5 by 11. It's got the cover on it. It looks very nice. And then they can write and take notes on it. It's really, really worthwhile. Some people don't download the book because they only want a hard copy. So they stop themselves from going through this process simply because they want a book. And I can't ship books right now because I don't have a publishing deal. And publishing deals are like record labels. They want to take like 90% of everything. Well, why should I give that up? I'm selling books every day on the website. So if you're interested in that, there's the link. You can always go to portaltoawakening.com. All of my videos are free on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/portal-to-awakening. There's hours and hours and hours of this stuff. You know, my teacher didn't teach me this stuff. I had to put this together over 17 years. 17 years it took me to simplify it down like this. And it's powerful. And I don't say that with an ego. I'm just saying, I don't know of any course or book that'll get you to dismantle this stuff. I bought all the books out there. I had all the top spiritual books, Think and Grow Rich, Esther and Jerry Hicks, The Law of One, Napoleon Hill, all of them. And there's some good stuff in them, The Secret, but none of them taught me the 3-step process that you're taught in this book and this course. And if you can't see a program, you won't dismantle it because the ego will keep justifying it. That's why it's so key to learn to track the frequency of how you're feeling. Because even if you don't currently see the program and know how to dismantle it, you can feel it. You can feel a trigger. You can feel shame. You can feel guilt. You can feel lack. There's always a lack of money. That was my program forever. My uncle drilled that into me. Everything's lack. He had 8 kids. You better eat your last pea. Everything's lack. It took me a long time. And even, I paid for courses on EFT tapping. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. Didn't work. Why? Because they didn't teach me how to go in and remove the underlying belief. You've got to remove the underlying belief. And this teaches you how to do it. So, yeah, I'm plugging my book because it works. And the people that go through it go, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm like, yeah. Why weren't we taught this in school? So we're going to be taught this in school. So let me see what I have here. Hey, Mark. Great to see you. I'm glad this is resonating. Oh, Lori. Yeah, Lori got the digital course. Loving the course. Okay, Lori, do you have any question? This would be great if you do. If you don't want to, you don't have to do anything. But if you have a question or there's anything you want to share about what you're seeing because of the book and the digital course that you want to share with anybody, because it's super valuable. Because I can talk all day and people can go, yeah, well, it's your course, whatever. But, I'm really sharing the tools. I'm sharing every single thing that's in the book and the course. I'm not saying, well, you got to come and pay me if you want to get the secrets. because that would be me being in fear and lack. I can share everything with you and sell books in the course and journey with people every month too, because I do it. And this is 5D. This is like, okay, we're still having to operate and pay for rent and things like that for a little while longer, but it's not going to be much longer. And so if I were to be in fear about sharing the tools, then I would be running that program. So I'm like, okay, I could just tell them how to do it. Tell them everything. Yeah. Put the book step by step. It'll guide you. It'll show you the digital course, the 4 hours of PowerPoint trainings. You watch those. You will be seeing the program. You'll see them. You will do the inner healing and forgiveness. You will do it. We're not taught how to do this. It's amazing how many people are walking around with wounds from childhood and trauma, and they're just like, well, that happened. Okay, yes, it did happen, but unless you go in and clear it, it's affecting every single relationship that you're in moving forward. You got to do it. The good news is it's so easy to do it. It's so easy to do it. I get on calls with people almost every day of the week. And yes, sometimes we have tears, which are some of the most healing, releasing. It's an orgasm. You know what most people do when they get on a call with me and they tell me their story in like 2 to 5 minutes, and I go right into the room because I know how to identify this stuff. I've been doing it for so long. And then they get tears in their eyes because I get them to go into it. This all happens very quick, by the way. It's very quick, and we have fun doing it. Okay, so they get a tear. They start to have tears. What does the average person do immediately? Anybody know? They wipe the tear and they apologize. They apologize that we have been taught that it's shameful to cry and show emotion. What a messed up program and belief. Tears are the greatest, most wonderful, vulnerable, healing thing on the planet. I'll say that again. Allowing these trapped emotions, wounds, and frequencies to move is the most sacred and healing thing on the planet. So if you're holding on to any of that stuff, I invite you to tune into it and let it go. And if you need some help, reach out. Let's do it. It's fast and it's simple. Just sometimes you can't see it. And I'm trained in how to do it. So I love doing it because to do this with somebody it's one of the greatest feelings in the world, to be compassionate, to hold empathy, and to hold a safe space for somebody. And I'll cry with people, man, I'm an empath. I get tears all the time. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's healing. It's healing. So if anybody has any other questions, post it in. Now's an opportunity. 53 minutes and 33 seconds. I love it. Yeah. And then I'm going to post this up here one more time for you to read. I'd like you to take this in. Whoops. There it is. Okay? Let me take my book out of there. Okay? New Earth is here. You are all advanced beings. I invite you to shut your eyes while I read this. You can or you don't have to, but I'll read it for you. You are all advanced beings. I want you to take this in, breathe in, and tune into this. See if your mind reacts or if it goes, yes, 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 this is resonating so much. Thank you. You are all advanced beings. If you only knew who you truly were and how powerful you are, the human body would not limit you. The human mind could never limit you again. You are here on earth because you are advanced. You have so much assistance, and you're in the process of remembering who you truly are. You are a limitless being, which cannot be defined. You cannot be confined, and your powers are limitless. Now I'm going to ask you, do you believe that? I know a part of you does, or you wouldn't be on this call. Can you commit to start operating from that mindset when you consciously create your reality every single day? And if you set those alarms on your phone, you have set them, right? I just want to ask you a question. If you heard that it would be priceless if you set these alarms on your phone, but in your mind went, no, it's a good idea, but you didn't pick up your phone and do it, gotta ask yourself why. Because that's the ego not wanting to change. Oh, I'll remember. I'll remember. That's the ego lying to you. Maybe you will. Maybe you're, advanced beyond me, which would be very easy to be. But you have a photographic memory and you just remember stuff and boom, you logged it in and now you're going to set your alarms. But check this out, because the ego doesn't really like change, Okay, Lori's got a powerful reflection. I love it. Thank you, Lori, so much, because this helps everybody. So check it out. Lori says, I see myself really clinging hard to a few last resentments I see myself holding on to. I love you, Lori. You rock, because your vulnerability and your honesty is so wonderful. And people are going to watch this and they're going to get something very powerful out of this. So check this out. Okay? So when Lori so bravely and authentically and vulnerably shares her honesty, which I love so much, I'm really clinging hard to the last few resentments. Okay? So let's check this out. This is the final part of healing and freeing ourselves. The child, the young adult, or the adult that got wounded, I don't really like that word because it makes us sound like we're wounded, but that got wounded. The trigger, the event happened to them. It hurt them at the time. Whatever it is, whatever they got told, whatever got taken from them, whatever got projected on them, whatever, the poison. Okay? So that memory is still in the mind. It's still in your energetic body. Okay? So the frequency of that wound is still in your energetic field. Now, the ego isn't taught really how to forgive. It just remembers the event because that memory frequency is still in your body. I'm touching my body here because it's still in your body. We tend to hold that stuff down here in our solar plexus. That's where the fear and the lockup happens. But it's a combination of your mind and your cellular structure. Okay? So, why would we not want to let this go? Because it was painful. Okay? Well, do we want to free ourselves? So I'm going to give you a couple of really huge keys here, Lori, and anybody else that's watching this. It took me a long, long, long time to figure out. Okay, number one, you don't have to believe me. Like my teacher Miguel told me, don't believe me, don't believe yourself. Question everything. But check this out. We have a soul contract before we come here. We decide what we're going to experience and why we're going to experience it. For raising the collective consciousness and healing thousands of years of trauma. Okay? We don't remember it. It doesn't make any sense to me. When I was first told this, I was like, I would have never chosen to come down here like this, have my dad be killed when I'm 7, grow up with 2, really stern stepfathers, go to Catholic school, be in the church. I would have never chosen that. Guess what? Yeah, I did. Why? Because it's allowed me, now that I've seen that it was part of my soul contract and I've went in and cleared this stuff and I see how the programs work, now those allow me to be able to take people through this process to understand the wounds, the depth, the trauma, the pain, and everything else. Because if I didn't go through it myself, I wouldn't be able to take people through the process at the level at which I do. Okay? So these are your gifts. So number one, be open to the fact that every single thing that happened to you was part of your soul contract. Okay? So what's the next step? The next step is complete forgiveness in thanking those people that perfectly played their role on your agreed upon soul contract. I'm going to say that again, and if this triggers you, just take a breath and stay with me. I'll explain another piece to it for really deep trauma. Okay? We forgive everyone fully, including ourselves. Sometimes it's great to write out a little paragraph, do a little ceremony, light some candles, light some incense, put on some light music, write out, I forgive you. And then burn it, do a ceremony or whatever. Do it for yourself, I forgive you. Use Ho'oponopono, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Then flip-flop it around, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, I forgive me. I love me. And I thank me. Flip-flop it around so it feels really good and you get to clear it. Okay? So we thank these people. That's when you'll know you've cleared it and healed it. When you can think of the person and go, oh, thank you. Now, let's talk about the deeper trauma. Because I journey with people that have been sexually abused, raped, molested, okay? Now, if I were to ask them to thank the person, what's that going to do to them? It's going to trigger them, okay? So you don't necessarily need to thank them like, oh, thank you for severely abusing me. No, but you must forgive them and you must understand that it was part of your soul contract. If you're not open to this, you're never going to be able to heal it. You just won't, because you're going to be carrying it. So look for the gift. What is the gift? I journey with people that have been horribly abused, and now they're out there helping all these people and all these women and men that have gone through the same trauma, only because they experienced it, they healed it, and now they have these gifts where they can go out and do this for other people. So these are your greatest gifts. And I really intend that you get this. It's really, really key. So yeah. So for you, Lori, and anybody else, it's about sitting down and going, why would I be holding on to this? Why am I still pissed? Because the ego doesn't really want to let go of it. Because it's got the memory. And that story has been built up over decades. But you can dismantle it quick. You can drop it today. And be done with it. Yeah, if the memory pops up again, you might go, oh, I'm still pissed at, Joe for what he did in my life. Okay, I love you, thank you. Do the Ho'oponopono and clear it. I'm telling you, you can clear decades of wounds, trauma, and beliefs so fast. So fast. And I intend that the children growing up aren't going to have to deal with this. Now, I'll tell you, children that are being traumatized by masks and constant fear, yeah, they're going to have their work cut out for them, because this is the biggest crime on humanity that has ever been done. Way beyond what happened in Germany. Yeah. So Lori, I intend you got a piece of that. I know you did, because you were totally gung-ho to get this course and do it. So, yeah. So thank you. You're a rock star. And I appreciate you trusting in me and the course. It truly is life-changing. So let's recap before we end. Speaking to your cells every day, reversing the aging process, being open to the fact that you can reverse the aging process. And there will be med beds coming before long, but why not play with it now? Why not play with expanding your unlimited capabilities? How unlimited can you think and create when you go to create your reality each morning while your head's still on the pillow? How big can you imagine? Because if you can imagine it, it already exists. It's already a timeline that already exists. It's not in the future, it's here. Anything you can imagine is already here. Do you understand that? Super key to get playful with that. Super key. And then throughout the day, what is my magnetic frequency and vibration tuned to? Am I in excitement? My favorite word, excitement. I'm excited. I'm excited. I see so much incredible stuff happening around the planet. Oh my God. People are waking up like popcorn. It's happening. The light coming into the planet is so strong right now. The light's already won. This is just a cleanup phase. And unfortunately, yeah, even with so much evidence that this is the biggest scam in the history of the world, some people still don't want to admit it because they don't want to admit that they're wrong. I see people that are still wearing a mask in a car. Yet when they go to eat, they just take it off. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. But we don't judge them, we just love them. They're perfectly playing their role. We have compassion, okay? I had to wear a mask to go into one store the other day. I go in for 1 minute, I come out, and I take it off. What that makes me feel like, to have to do that, and I bless all of you out there that if you have to still do it for any reason, you know, because that makes me feel like a prisoner, a slave. It's just wrong. My immune system is kick ass. I don't get sick. If I were to get a minor cold, my body's resetting itself. I put good drink, food. I drink baking soda, lime, and water every morning. It alkalizes my body. I drink Shilajit, which is fulvic acid. It tastes great, man. It tastes like earth. And I, eat healthy. And I love on my body. Because again, loving on your body is the most powerful thing you can do. Way beyond anything you eat or exercise or anything else. It's incredible. So I'm going to leave you with that. With the 9 people that are still on here, let's do a little gratitude thing. Send a bunch of love into all our cells. Smile. For the gift of today and the gift of being connected all over the world and the gift of being able to get these downloads and share. And then we're going to blast this out to everybody on the planet. So I'm going to get the bowl going. Just breathe into your body and smile. Thank it for everything it's served you unconditionally in every moment since you've been in the womb. Feel into your body. Is there any tension? If there is, breathe into it gently and thank it and smile. Watch, your body will respond. It will relax. I used to have a tight back and neck every day. You can tell I'm an ampy guy. I run a lot of energy. But I don't have that anymore because I just breathe in my love on my body. So thank your body for everything. Thank everybody that shows up in your dream, especially those that you judge, your greatest teachers. And now we're going to send all that energy out to everybody on the planet. Anybody that needs peace and calm, anybody that needs healing, anybody that needs a friend, anybody that needs some positivity. And we're going to blast Mother Earth and all of nature for unconditionally loving us in every moment and supplying us with food and sunlight and water and grounding earth and plants and animals and magnificence. Sound, music, frequencies. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have an incredible day or evening wherever you're at. And reach out if you're interested in going on the journey. And we'll catch up soon. Much love to everybody.